As Bama gets set for this Michigan matchup in the ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa, and hey, look, I'm hanging out with you not far from there right now. I want to talk about what this game means. And I've said meaningless, but I'm going to tell you something. Listening to the coaches talk about why this game is significant made me realize that, you know what? Anytime Bama puts on a uniform, it's a big deal. And there is a lot at stake for the Crimson Tide in this game at Raymond James Stadium. Jalen Hale back on the football field. First time since his knee injury. Good to see Jalen Hale back out there again. And then Jaylen Mbakwe playing wide receiver. Some other news and notes for Alabama as they get ready to take on Michigan. We're going to talk about it all right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Let's get this party started. Great to see you guys, by the way. Brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Roll Tide. What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillespie here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. You know how to do that. Auburn fans, I know it's confusing to you guys, but if you're here, I'm glad that you're here. I mean, anybody that watches, I appreciate. So let's talk about the Crimson Tide as they get set to take on the Michigan Wolverines. And I thought that this was interesting. You know, I've been on here for a while, and I've said it over and over again, like a meaningless game, right? And it's because you can't win a championship, and at Alabama, it's about winning a championship. So you didn't win an SEC championship, strike one. You didn't get into the college football playoff, strike two, which means that strike three is you can't win the national championship. Well, we all know that. But why is this game significant? Coming up on Tuesday, December 31st, 11 a.m. Central Time, against Michigan, Raymond James Stadium here in Florida, where I'm hanging out right now. Well, the coaches put it best, and I love to hear this, but Alabama's coaches, including assistant coach, offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan, talked about why it's important to get 10 wins. And Kane Womack, their defensive coordinator, said, hey, getting 10 wins as a team, they want to do that because it would be 16 straight years that Alabama's won at least 10 games. And that, to me, is amazing. I mean, when you think about where this program is right now, to win 10 games for 16 straight years, even when and Saban really didn't have bad years, right? Bad years were still great years for any other program. But 9-3 is good. 10-3, you keep the streak alive. And one of the biggest things that this coaching staff has tried to do is just maintain the reputation that it's still Alabama. That's why this game's important. And we talked about it on the video yesterday. Bama statistically has every advantage in this game. They're better in every area. The other thing is that Michigan's best players opted out. You know, they care so much about their program that they all backed out to go get ready for the NFL. Bama hasn't had that. And that, to me, really is it shows you what this program means to the players. You know, and I know some of you guys, we've in the comments section, and you guys have made it clear. Some of you love Jalen Milroe. You know I love Jalen Milroe. Some of you guys don't. That's fine too. But I think this is his last game. He could have easily opted out, and he didn't do it. I think that goes to show you. Tyler Booker could have opted out. Jahad Campbell was like, man, I came here to play football. We're playing football. Love that about these guys. So that's an important one, and I was glad to see that, right? So if Bama wins 10 games, they win this football game, it'll be 17 straight years. This streak started in 2008. I remember going to the SEC championship game in 2008, and then we lost to Florida, and then having Mike Johnson on many shows with me, and one of my best buddies. I mean, he said it before. We didn't have the right goal. We wanted to get to the SEC championship game. Now they want to win the SEC championship game, and they've done that. And they want to win the national championship. The next year they did, and that kind of set off Nick Saban's, just amazing run. And they surpassed Florida State with Bobby Bowden that did it from 87 to 2000. So, I mean, you want to kind of be able to follow that same thing. And so it's exciting to kind of see where Alabama is going into this game. The other thing, too, that, that all of these coaches know is that Bama lost to Michigan last year. They lost to them in the Rose Bowl. And I know that game meant a lot because the winner of that game was going to win the national championship. No offense to Coach DeBoer, who coached Washington in that game. Guess what? You get a chance to leave with a win over Michigan. Anytime you beat Michigan, it is a good deal. Jake Coker was telling me yesterday on our Elephant in the Room podcast that, he was like, you as a player, you love the helmet games. You see them, and Bama and Michigan are two blue blood brands. So, I think that's another reason that this game is significant. So, there's some stuff out there. Is it the game that I think that we belong in? No. Is it? Do we deserve better? Yes, we do. But bottom line is this: is that it's the game that we're in, and that means it's the game that we need to go out and take care of. We need to win this game. Now, let me switch to wide receiver because a lot's going on with the wide receiver position at Alabama, and some of you guys know already, but we had a whole boatload of guys hurt, and so they're not going to play. And then we had 4 guys transfer out, and good riddance. If you don't want to be at Alabama, go somewhere else. And if you didn't get the ball, it's not Milroe's fault. It's your fault. Get open. Find out if playing receiver at Kentucky or Baylor is going to be better than playing at Alabama with Coach DeBoer. But people, kids get impatient. So Bama's been trying to figure out what the next step is, how they're going to take advantage of the players that they have left. And their 2 best wide receivers, Jeremy Bernard and then Hollywood, Ryan Williams, are back. And unless Bernard decides to go somewhere else. But, I mean, we all expect him to be back. And then, Bama's gone out, and they've been working hard on the transfer portal. They added Horton from Miami, one of the best receivers there. So Bama's got some help in that area. But then Jaylen Mbakwe, who is a freshman and played defensive back, is corner, really. Now he is practicing at wide receiver. And Bama is so limited in this spot. Do not be surprised if Jaylen Mbakwe doesn't get out there. He's a former 5-star, one of Alabama's best players, but he was a wide receiver and a quarterback in high school at Clay Chalkville. He was just an amazing athlete. He came to Alabama and played corner. And now he wants to switch to wide receiver. And all the reports are that he's doing really well. Jeremy Bernard talked about how explosive he is, how fast he is, that he can catch the ball. Jalen Milroe, talked about how he tracks the ball and the way that he makes plays on over-the-shoulder passes. And Jaylen Mbakwe is really a phenomenal athlete. And Bama needs him at wide receiver. Other than Bernard and Williams, you got Rico Scott and Jaron Hamilton, and then who after that? You'd have walk-ons or whatever. Bama is so limited at wide receiver, and I'm excited to see what Jaylen Mbakwe looks like catching passes. It's going to be really interesting to see that. So I'm hoping that he has a tremendous game in this bowl game. And honestly, I'm expecting him to catch a touchdown. I don't know if that's even if that's even a possibility, but I would love to see that. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about on the show was Jalen Hale and him being back at Alabama practice. And I think that, that this is such a good deal. He's not going to play in the bowl game, okay? You're not going to see number 14 in the bowl game. He's in a non-contact jersey, but he's been out for a long time. So now you're seeing him practicing with Alabama, running routes, getting back into the swing of things. Nick Sheridan said it's been great having him. Basically, he's how happy he is that he's back and talking about his perseverance and how much joy that he has out there playing football again. This is a player that I wasn't even thinking about for next year. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, don't forget about Jalen Hale. So it'd be his second season at Alabama. And he, as a true freshman, he was a really good player. You know, he was someone that you saw flashes of great football. But, you know, was injured in practice and, you know, and he's been out of action for a long time. So this is good news for Alabama and, you know, an area where you'll see that this guy's, I think, could make a possible impact. Now, the other thing is don't be surprised if Justin Jefferson doesn't end up getting another year of eligibility. I was talking to Clint Lamb at Cover Crimson about this. And, you know, I'm on there with those guys, part of that crew. Hale coming back's a big deal. Jefferson coming back would be a big deal. The NCAA allowed Vanderbilt's quarterback, Pavia, to basically get an extra year of eligibility because he was with junior college. And you guys know this. Like, this is, I mean, this is, we're fundamentally changing college football. NIL fundamentally changing, right? Transfer portal fundamentally changing. Now you're telling me that the guys that went to JUCO don't have to count that JUCO against the years that they're in college? It's unbelievable to me. I don't even know if I agree with it or not. But what I will say is that if I'm a JUCO, it makes the experience at JUCO much more meaningful because it's not going to count against you when you get to the next level. It gives players a chance to go somewhere, grow a little bit, and then go to a big college. And honestly, it gives them, it makes the game better. I mean, I don't know about the school part of it, but having better players makes the game better. So Jefferson, we'll see soon if he ends up getting to stick around. All right, guys, that does it for the show today. I appreciate all of you guys. I got things I want to tell you about. First off, newlifeart.com, promo code Bama Tailgate. Take advantage of this code. It's this Bama Tailgate code gets you 20% off. So when you go to checkout, you hit that Bama Tailgate code, you get 20% off when you check out. So you get the Daniel Moore prints. Pimp out your man cave. Obviously, I'm in a hotel. I don't have any Daniel Moores in here, but I love them. You know, my studio, I have them. And the gift of Daniel Moore was great. I love it when people get those gifts. I've given them away to our sponsors in years past, and everybody loves a Daniel Moore print. So 20% off Bama Tailgate. And finally, the Hinder Tonic and Fuel concert, huge success, Silver Star Convention Center. You guys can get over there at any time. Silver Star, Golden Moon Casino. Golden Moon's got the sports book. Basically, you go there, do the sports book just like you would, you know, in Vegas, and it's great. And if the weather's like it is here in Florida, 80 degrees, go golf. And if you basically go to the sports book, put down you know, $50, take the receipt over there, and you can play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course for $40. It is a deal that you just can't beat. But Philip M. Steakhouse is amazing. Mama and Them's restaurant's great. The Circle Bar in the middle of the casino is awesome. Check it out for yourself, Pearl River Resort. And we appreciate them for being part of our show. Hope you guys are having a great holiday, and roll Tide.
To Pearl River Resort.